Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this Wednesday, and welcome to this educational presentation. Now, if you are a reversal trader, you're really going to enjoy today's educational presentation because we're going to be talking about a brand new tool we have that is perfect for capturing these powerful trend reversals. Let me show you what I mean here. Here's an older chart of INTU. As we can see, we're in a current downtrend at this time that this snapshot was taken. Well, this new tool actually identified a trend reversal right here at the low of this bar. And as you can see, it had a nice reversal to the upside. In fact, 100 points that you could have captured or at least traded in that direction. Now, this works to the downside as well. As we see here, this chart of the British pound, we're fairly going higher, but at this point, a trend reversal was indicated using this brand new tool. And as you can see, the British pound dropped nearly 1,100 pips, 1,085 to be exact. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. With one click, you'll be able to find and identify where these trend reversals are by using our platform, the PTS Primo charting platform that I developed with Pro Trader Strategies that actually auto-identifies these trend reversal bars. So thanks for joining us today. My name is Steven Primo. I'm the president and founder of Specialist Trading. If you're new to our webinars, we are all about educating you. We are first and foremost an educational company. We're not like other webinars you may have attended in the past where they tell you what they think the market's going to do, or they tell you what the perfect stock or market is to trade, or what time frame you should be trading. We actually don't believe in that. We believe a good educator provides you with the information, the tips and the tools and the techniques so that you can make your own trading decisions. Now, I've been trading now for 48 years, and if there's one thing I've learned in 48 years, is that the only way to become consistent is to make your own trading decisions. The fault with that is that we're all taught to not make our own trading decisions. We're taught to find out from someone else, either some guy on TV or some interest rate or earnings report that's coming out, some estimation, or what some guy says in a chat room. You see, every time you make a decision to trade based off those things, you're taking yourself out of the game. And this is why most traders, estimation upwards of 85%, are inconsistent or not doing well in the markets, in fact, failing, because you're taking yourself out of the game. So what will sustain you is proper education. And I use all the things that I've accumulated in my 48 years of trading that have high levels of consistency and teach them to my students around the world. I'm happy to say we have students now in over 115 countries and in every state in the United States. So you'll see that attention to detail in educating you in today's educational presentation. Now, before we begin, we are required to share this with you, so please take a moment to view our disclaimer. I'm going to show you a lot of performance results using this tool, but please remember that we can in no way guarantee that any of the results I'm about to share with you will be repeated in the future. And since we are first and foremost an educational company, all examples are strictly for educational purposes only. Now, if you haven't done so already, I see a lot of new names here in today's class. Please feel free to follow us on X. There's our handle right there at SBCLSTTradg. Maybe you want to copy that down, because every day I post anywhere from 5 to 7 different snapshots of signals or methods or techniques we teach our students that have generated some trades, and we show you exactly what happened in the trade. Also, another way to get great information is to subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are also broadcasting this live on YouTube, so lots of great ways to follow us. Please hit the subscribe button and get education either through YouTube or through X. Okay, with that stated, let's begin today's educational presentation. And what we're going to be talking about today is what we call our new PTR. And what exactly does the PTR stand for? Well, it's an abbreviation for the Primo Trend Reversal Tool. So let me share with you some of the highlights of this particularly innovative new tool we have here. It's our most unique new trading tool, because if you've ever gone to my webinars before, or you're a student of mine, you've noticed that we talk about strategies or ways to trade within the trend. And most students will say, well, Steve, you're always talking about trading within the trend. This is actually trying to pick a top or a bottom. Well, actually, no, we're not trying to pick a top or a bottom. We're actually trying to identify when a new trend is beginning. So this is, in and of itself, actually a trend following tool, but we're trying to pick the exact bar that a new trend will begin. Now, it's designed to identify these reversal bars, the actual bar where the trend starts. Now, oftentimes this does it with very high accuracy. You'll see that in the examples I share with you. Sometimes it's a little too early, maybe 5 or 6 bars a little too early, but most of the time we are at or near the highs or at or near the lows, meaning where a new trend is about to start. Now you can apply it to any market in any time frame. So this is really a great advantage, because if you like to trade, let's say, multiple markets, say you not only trade stocks, but you also trade currency pairs, or maybe you trade crypto along with ETFs, it makes absolutely no difference. Wherever a new trend is about to begin, a reversal, the PTR will generate setups according to its rules. And lastly, there are numerous ways to apply and trade. I'm going to share with you the most basic and benchmark way to apply the PTR today. But in our course, we have really a lot of different ways to trade it to meet your needs. All right, so let me share with you some examples, and you'll see how simple it is to generate this process using this fairly new tool, the PTR. And remember, everything you're seeing today is coming displayed and applied by using our platform, the PTS Primo charting platform I developed with Pro Trader Strategies that actually auto-identifies these trend reversals in real time. All right, so let's look and start out with bottom trend reversals. This is where we're looking for some type of bottom to be made, and then the trend begins newly to the upside. All right, we're looking at EXC here. This was at the end of the year coming into January. Obviously, we're in a downtrend. Now, if we're going lower in a downtrend, here's the way to find out if perhaps a new trend is going to start to the opposite, to the upside. It's going to reverse itself. It's as simple as this. On our platform, all you would do is click on PTR indicator in the green strategy tab with all of our methods and techniques. Find where it says PTR and click that on, and you'll see a drop-down menu. Click on signal arrows. You just want to see if a signal has been generated. Now, if there hasn't been a signal generated, nothing will come up. But if one has been generated, well, then you will see it. And in this case, it was at the low of this down move. Now, there were no other signals generated the entire downward move until this bar. So at this point, let's say you were thinking about getting long the stock. Now, you don't necessarily have to buy at the market. That's one way you could do it if you wanted to. Another way is to say, well, listen, I'm going to use my strategy that I feel comfortable with. But if this is actually going to be the beginning of an uptrend, I'll wait and see if my strategy generates a buy signal. So you can do it that way. Or, like I said, if you wanted to, you could simply buy at this point. And as we see here, the stock went up 10 points. Now, 10 points doesn't seem like a lot, but that was a 25% price gain. Think of it. Think of an expensive stock gaining 25%, a quarter of its value in just a little over a month. And we picked the exact bottom bar. Let's look at CTSH. Once again, this is going lower. The entire time, the PTR has not generated a reversal signal. So we check each and every day. And as you can see, once you click it on, all you have to do is click on signal arrow. And there was one right here at this low bar. So at this point, it's telling us, according to the proprietary indicator, that most likely the trend is going to reverse. As we can see coming up, the stock quickly gained 15 points, or it gained 20% of its value in just a little over a month. Here's an example in TXN. Now, this was just a couple of weeks ago. The stock had been fairly drifting lower and lower. At this very bar right here, the PTR identified that most likely, with a high probability, the trend was about to change, and this time to the upside. And look what happened. In the next 5 days, the stock gained 25 points, or 15% of its value. Think of it. Any stock gaining 15% of its value in just 5 days. You see how advantageous this is to trade this? And remember, once again, you wouldn't necessarily have to just buy it once you see the reversal arrow. You could wait for your strategy to give you a signal, or apply any technique or indicator to help you jump on board the new trend. Let's look at a 1-hour chart of the British pound Canadian dollar, because it makes no difference what market we're trading or what time frame. We're looking at entirely different categories here, but the same process applies. We see that the British pound Canadian dollar has been heading lower, but a reversal bar was generated right at the bottom of this bar right here. And look what happened. In a little over a day, it went up 100 pips. Now, had you have bought at the close of that bar, Well, guess what? Holding it just for a day or so, you could have potentially captured roughly about $1,000 per unit, by the way. If you wanted to trade multiple units, well, that would have been much more. Now let's look at the stock FANG. We're going back to daily bars of stocks. All the way down, the stock has been going lower and lower every day, but the PTR never generated a reversal bar until this one right here, okay? So it's telling you that at the low of this downward trend, most likely we're going to start a brand new trend. Now, this was just about a couple of months ago, and look what happened. The stock gained 25 points, or once again, 15% of its value. It jumped up in about 3 weeks. Let's look at MELI. Okay, once same thing, same process again. It's going lower and lower. All you have to do is click on the PTR tab and see if an arrow has been generated to the upside. And at this point right here, yes, an up arrow was generated. The stock quickly jumped up 650 points, or it gained 40% of its current value. This was coming in just into this past week. Or let's look at an entirely different time frame. Here's a chart of AZN. This is a weekly chart. Now, even though it's had these kind of hiccups going up, going down, going up, a reversal bar was not generated on a weekly time frame until right here. This was just roughly about a year ago. And as you can see, the stock went straight up 25 points, or it gained 40% of its value in roughly less than a year. And let's go through the process once again. Here's a weekly chart of the dollar yen. The stock is heading lower. A reversal bar was generated. You can either buy or start to look for buy signals using whatever method you like. 1,400 pips in the next 4 months. That's roughly $14,000 per unit that you potentially could have captured if you held on. All right, so we've looked at trend reversals that are making bottoms. Let's look at topping trend reversals. This is when the market has been going higher, and then all of a sudden the PTR says that it's most likely going to start a trend to the downside. All right, NVIDIA. This is a chart of NVIDIA just going back to about a month ago. The stock had been going higher. Here's how simple the process is. The entire time it was headed higher, the PTR never generated a trend reversal setup. So at the close of this day, all you had to do is click on PTR right here. Even though we're in an uptrend, you want to see if it's changing the trends. Click it on, and in the drop-down menu, click on signal arrows. And if no signal was generated, well, then it'll leave the space blank as it had before. But in this case, yes, at this point, on the 24th of January, just about a month ago, it said a reversal was in place, most likely in NVIDIA. And the stock quickly fell 25 points in 1 day, or it lost 15% of its value in 1 day. How about this example in FRPT? Once again, it's going higher and higher. But let's say you're long this stock. Let's say maybe you don't like to go short. You don't really like to buy puts. You just want to know if maybe it's getting a little bit too toppy. Maybe you want to sell your position or at least part of it. So you click on the PTR indicator and signal arrows, and you see yes right here. So if you were long the stock, this would be a good point to exit, or at least maybe raise your stop. It's a warning tool because the trend reversed. In fact, this fell 63 points coming into this week, and the stock lost 40% of its value. Now, this is another reason why traders lose, because they will continue to hold on and hold on to a stock even when it's going against them. The PTR reversal tool can help you, at least as an exiting tool. As we said, there are many ways to apply it. As we look at ORLY, the same process occurs. It's going higher and higher, but a reversal bar was generated right at the very top here. The stock fell 95 points in roughly about 2 weeks, or lost 8% of its value. You could have saved yourself nearly 100 points if you were long. Here was a reversal bar in a 1-hour chart of the Euro Swiss franc, an entirely different market, an entirely different time frame, but nothing changes. We're looking at an uptrend here. And if you continued to click on the indicator, you would have seen at the end of this bar, a reversal was in place, and the Euro Swiss franc fell 100 pips in a little over a day, or $1,000 per unit once again. Now, let's look at CrowdStrike, okay, CRWD, okay? I want you to check out these next two charts because it's extremely interesting. It makes no difference what time frame, because the PTR is looking for a specific pattern and as well as a relationship with a specific indicator to generate these setups. Now, we keep the proprietary formula in-house, but that's okay. The secret is not in knowing what the proprietary formula is. The secret is knowing in how to apply it and when to use it. For example, this entire time that CrowdStrike had been going up from January up until February, this past week, there were no reversal setups until right here. This was on the 19th. This was just literally a couple of days ago, or a week ago, I should say. And look what happened. The stock fell 80 points, or it lost 20% of its value in just a week. And you could have taken advantage of that. Once again, if you were an aggressive trader, you could have purchased some puts, or maybe had some type of a spread strategy with a downward bias. Or if you were long the stock, you could have used this as an exiting tool and got out right at the top bar. Now, this was on a daily chart. We can look at the same stock, but go to an entirely different time frame. In this case, let's look at a weekly chart. And we see the same process. The stock had been going up last year from April, May, June, up until July. And the first reversal signal on a weekly time frame was generated in July. So if you were a long-term investor, you could have once again used this as an exiting tool, or at least a warning to move your stop up, because look what happened. In the next 3 weeks, the stock fell 160 points, or in other words, it lost 45% of its value in 3 weeks. So do you think this tool could have helped you? Let's look at a weekly chart of DXCM. Okay, another weekly chart. Once again, the stock had been heading higher. It had looked as if it was rolling over and topping out, but the PTR didn't generate a reversal signal, and it was a good choice because look what happened. It continued to go higher, and it generated a reversal setup right here at the very top bar right here. And look what happened. In the next 4 or 5 months, the stock lost 75 points, or 55% of its value. Once again, do you see how powerful this tool is, how it could help you in trading either in weekly bars, hourly bars, doesn't matter what time frame or what market, because now we're looking at a weekly chart of the Swiss franc. Once again, the currency pair is headed higher. Every day you check to see if maybe it's a reversal setting in. None were generated until this bar, the highest high so far. And look what happened. It fell 675 pips. That's nearly $700 per unit. Okay, so let's recap what we shared with you today. Remember, the PTR is one of our most unique trading tools. Why? Because it's designed to identify reversal bars. What we're looking for is the exact bar that a new trend is starting to become established. All right, it's got amazing high degree of accuracy, as you just saw in these examples here. You can apply it to any market in any time frame. We just shared with you examples in a 1-hour chart of currency pairs, weekly time frame, as well as daily bars. It makes absolutely no difference what market or what time frame. And lastly, there are numerous ways to apply. Remember, if you don't like to go short, well, guess what? You can use it as an exiting tool, or you can apply options if you'd like to. Now, let me share with you just one of the ways we teach you in which to apply it, because as we said, I shared with you the most basic way. Simply when there was a reversal sign, you could just buy at the market or sell at the market. But here's another unique way to apply it. This is what we call re-entering, because as I stated, it has a high degree of accuracy, but that doesn't mean it's 100% degree of accuracy. Sometimes you will see this happen. Here's a perfect example on AXON, all right? The stock is heading higher and higher. It looked as if it was rolling over here, but there was no reversal signal, and it continued to go higher. And here, it finally makes a reversal signal. This was just about 3 weeks ago on the 6th of February, okay? So at this point, you could have said, okay, well, I'm going to go short. I'll either buy puts or maybe I'll short the stock. And for the next week, you feel pretty good about it. You're doing well. You have your stop in place. You're feeling good, but then this happens. And this will happen every once in a while. It's perfectly admissible. Nothing works 100% of the time. The beauty is if you're able to recapture what you lost. So let's say, for example, you used one of our standard stop placements, and this is expensive, $600-700 stock. Let's say you lost 10 or 15 points using the stop placement. Okay, well, instead of licking your wounds and saying this stuff doesn't work, you could use a technique that I teach in the course that would allow you to re-enter, and you could have potentially captured upwards of 150 points. because oftentimes a reversal is so sensitive, it will get you in maybe a day or two or even a week a little bit early. So you have to know how to re-enter. I teach you a very advanced way of getting back in that will help you not only make up your loss, but capture gains along the way. This is just one of the ways we teach you in the course on how to apply the PTR. Okay, so let me tell you about a great discount we have for all of you attending today. We're going to offer you our new PTR, the Primo Trend Reversal Tool, at a very special discount price, also with a special bonus. You're going to get the entire new reversal tool. It's a non-traditional indicator-based tool that you can apply to any market, any time frame. We have ways to trade it aggressively. We also have ways to trade it conservatively, and you'll learn all of that in the course. It has exact bar pinpoint accuracy, and also you can apply this to option trading. Once again, if you see that there is a reversal bar, you can use this to purchase options or some type of option strategy. Now, everything you saw today was coming displayed using our platform. You saw how simple it was to generate these signals with one click. All you had to do was click on the PTR icon and see if there was a signal generated for that day or not. Well, because you're really going to need our platform, if you decide to become a student of mine, we're going to throw in a full year free of the platform. This is a full 12 months absolutely free. Now, one of the things a lot of students think is they say, well, this is great, Steve, but you mean I'm going to have a free platform with just one indicator on it? No, you're going to get a host of other things that you will only find on the PTS Primo charting platform, things that I've taken nearly 5 decades to accumulate that you won't find on any of the other major platforms, but only on the PTS Primo charting platform. Let me just share with you the tip of the iceberg. I can't go over into all the dozens of things that are on the platform that you won't find anywhere else. But along with the new proprietary PTR tool, you'll get our buy-sell line indicator. These are 4 different ways to determine instantly what the overall trend is in any market in any time frame. You'll also get a strength of trend feature. Now, strength of trend feature is something I developed with Pro Trader Strategies. It's an indicator, once again, you'll only find on the PTS Primo charting platform, that automatically tells you if there's more room left in an uptrend or a downtrend, or if it's running out of steam and it's time to get out. This is a great, great tool you can apply to any strategy, any method you have. You'll also get automatic exit levels only found on the PTS Primo charting platform. But this is one of the best things that you'll find on our platform. This is the signal scanner. If you've gone to my webinars before, have heard me speak, I have a personal pet peeve with a lot of platforms and their scanners. Some of them take far too long. I'm sure you've been there before, where it takes you, a half hour, 45 minutes just to get and see what the setups are doing a scan. We developed the PTS Primo charting platform with one goal in mind, and that was simply to make things simple, because we wanted you to focus on learning instead of focusing on how to bring up a chart and what does this mean and why am I spending way too much time with technical support. So we made things extremely simple. So the signal scanner, you can scan for a host of different markets and stocks, currency pairs, crypto, ETFs, all of the major indices, the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500 stocks, and it takes you literally less than a couple of minutes to come up with a nightly source of PTR setups, okay? Now, if you had the PTS Primo charts and the PTR, you could have scanned for this. This happened just this past month. This is a chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow Jones Index, okay? As we can see, it was in a real strong uptrend in January, virtually going straight up. The entire time it was going up in January, the PTR did not generate a reversal signal. Now, all you had to do each night was, if you're not able to be in front of your computer, when you come home at night, once again, click on PTR, click on scan this time. Instead of signal arrows, click on scan. And in a matter of minutes, you would have seen a host of different signals generated for the next day. And one of them was a trend reversal in the Dow Jones. Now, this just happened to be at the end of last month, just about a month ago. And we've all seen what the market has done. We've only just begun. If this is going to be a wide trend reversal, we've only fallen 1,300 points in the Dow. But you see how that picked the exact top bar there. Now, if you're watching this every day, you could wait to see if there's a trend reversal to the upside, or continue to trade with a downward bias, because right now, according to the PTR, the trend is still down. Now, if you're still undecided and you still don't see, well, that could have helped you, well, let's look at another chart here. Here's a chart, a weekly chart of the spiders, as we see here in the upper left-hand corner. The spiders are the ETF that represents the S&P 500 index, but it's a stock. You can trade it like a stock. It's an ETF. Once again, we've been in a clear uptrend. All right. Had you used the scanner in this weekly chart, you could have seen that on this weekly time frame, a trend reversal was generated right here. Now, this is a weekly chart of the spiders. Here's something I want you to notice. If you look at the bottom of the chart, this is not something that's recent. This is going back 5 years to January 2020. Do you all remember what happened in 2020? Something called the COVID bear market. At the very top, or at close to the top, you see what happened here. The market fell out of bed. Now, once again, if you used one of our tight stops, you would have been stopped out, but you could have used that technique I shared with you in the course that got you back in, and you could have taken full advantage of all of this to the downside. Now, we're not going to just stop there, because every night or every week, since this is a weekly chart, since you're scanning to see where the next setup is, look what happened in March. You could have scanned and seen that at the end of this week in March, the PTR generated a trend reversal to the upside. And we all know what happened after that. In fact, the market has not stopped going up since that trend reversal to the upside. So you see how powerful this tool is, how it could help you. You can either trade it in its most basic way, is once you see a trend reversal setup, just buy or sell at the market in that direction. Or you could say, all right, listen, if I'm long, I want to exit. Or if I've been short, or if I've been on the sidelines, now I want to start applying my strategy to look for buy or sell signals, depending on which direction the trend reversal is in. And we also teach you an aggressive way to trade it, as well as a conservative way to trade it. So we've been talking to you today about powerful trend reversals, or what we call the PTR. All right, so let's break it down. If you're a reversal trader, trust me, you can't afford to not trade with a new PTR. So here's what you have to do. Here's the discount we have for all of you today. We have 2 different ways to purchase the PTR. Now, normally, it costs close to $5,000. That's how popular and how powerful this tool is. What we're going to do is discount it 10%, bringing the price down to $44.95. You're going to save $500 for attending today. But we're not going to stop there. We're also going to allow you to have payment plans. So for a small deposit, this is really a fraction of that $44.95. You can still be up and running by just establishing a payment plan with my sister site, Pro Trader Strategies. They're in charge of all the discounts, of all the payment plans, of all the tech support, and they can put that together for you or give you a quote over the phone. So you can either purchase the PTR 2 ways, own it free and clear, full ownership just by paying $44.95 with a 10% discount. You're going to save $500, or establish a payment plan. So for a fraction of the $44.95, just a one-time down payment, you can still be up and running and just establish a payment plan. Okay. Either way you decide to go, you're still going to get a full free year, 12 months free of the platform. That in and of itself is worth roughly about $2,000 for the full year. Okay. Be one of the first to trade with the PTR. This is a fairly new tool. We just started within the last year, giving this out to our students around the world. So be one of the first to trade with the PTR. Turn your trading around. Start off 2025 in the right direction. Here's how to take advantage of this. Contact my sister site, Pro Trader Strategies. They're in charge of all of the discounts and giving you a payment plan, I should say, a quote on the payment plan. All you have to do is call them directly, which would probably be the best way to get in contact with them. Call them at 310-598-6677. They have trading consultants manning the phones right now. They would be more than happy to either answer any question you may have or establish a quote. They can give you a quote for a payment plan, or they can take your order right over the phone. You can be up and running as early as today. Now, that link you see at the very bottom has just been posted onto the chat box. So it's not a live link, what you're seeing in front of you, so you don't have to worry about it. Just open up the little chat icon there in your Zoom page, and you'll see that there's a link there that you simply have to click on, and it will open up for you in the browser, okay? Okay, we are at the end of today's presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Go to the chat box or the question and answer box, whichever one you want, and ask your question, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Someone's asking, can this be used on intraday charts? Yes, it can be. It can be used. I just shared with you a couple of intraday examples using the forex charts, 1 hour chart, but you can go down to 5 minute time frame. You can go down to even a 1 minute if you like. It will generate. The smaller the time frame, the more setups it will be generated. Okay, but we just have to caution. We caution all our students, not only with the PTR, but with all of our strategies and techniques, and not only mine, but with any educator. The smaller time frames, you're going to open yourself up to a lot more whipsaws, because that's just the nature of small time frames. There's a lot more back and forth. There's a lot more what we call noise. So in order to deal with that, you have to just make sure that you're aware that there could be a lot of noise in a small time frame. Okay. Can this be used on intraday charts? Yes. Is this available on NinjaTrader or Thinkorswim? I believe it is, but that's a question for our tech support, or that's a question for Pro Trader Strategies. So I would contact them, because they're the ones to ask for any tech support questions or things in terms of data or the platform. They're in charge of that division of our company. So once again, there's absolutely no obligation. They would be more than happy to answer that question for you. Okay. Let's see. Is the PTR indicator calculated in real time, end of day or when? Good question. Yes, it is calculated in real time. So if you have an open chart and it's midway through the day as it is right now, if a setup is being generated, okay, you will see a PTR signal there, but that does not mean that it could change by the end of the day. So I personally would wait for the end of the bar. So in other words, if you're looking at a 5-minute bar, the actual signal will be there at the end of that 5-minute bar. And once it's there, it will not repaint. Okay. I know a lot of people are concerned about that. It will never repaint. It will keep that signal. It's the same with looking at a daily bar. If you're looking at a daily bar of, let's say, Apple, and it gives you a reversal signal. Now, sure, that may be all well and good while the indicator is processing the information in real time. But remember, the signal is only valid as to what you see at the end of the day. Okay, just want to make sure you understand that. Okay, good questions. Someone is saying, are there any exit methods? Yes, there are. We have, in fact, upwards of 7 different exit methods. I know I just shared with you the entries. I just don't want to give away what our entire process is, but we share with you upwards of 6 or 7 different exit methods. If you are the type of trader that just wants to get in and out quickly, we have an exit method for that. If you're the type of trader that likes to stay as long as possible for those long trends, we have exit methods for that, okay? But this does not mean that the trend is changing. That will only happen when you get a PTR signal. It's just telling you that if you happen to be in, this is a good place to exit, okay? And as well, with all of our strategies, we also have exit methods, individual exit methods for them as well. Okay. Lastly, I'm a new person to trading. How much time and effort are required to learn this? Well, it's extremely simple. Remember, as I stated earlier, we want to make trading as simple as possible. We do not want you to waste your time on trying to figure out how to load a chart or how to execute a scanning process. You should be able to learn how to trade this. And so once you're in the course, it's really simple. I show you exactly how to implement it and different ways in which to do it conservatively or aggressively to make it easy for you, okay? Will you see the historical indicators on the charts? Yes, you will. So if, say you punch up once again Apple and there's a signal today, a reversal signal, you'll not only see at the end of today's close a signal for today, you'll see all the other closes that were generated as well, okay? Yes, you will see the historical setups going back. Okay, good questions. As we come to the close, I just want to say, remember, this is a great tool. There are numerous ways to trade it. There are just so many ways to trade it. We teach you all of them in the course. So please jump on board, take advantage of this great offer. If you're at all interested, contact Pro Trader Strategies at 310-598-6677. They would be more than happy to give you a quote. There's no obligation. They would answer any other question you may have, okay? And remember, this is for a limited time only, and then it goes back up to that $5,000 price level, so take advantage of that. Also, remember, all new students will get a full year free of the platform. That in and of itself is worth its weight in gold. There are so many tools, techniques, and methods included in the platform that you really have to see it to believe it. It's really great, and you won't find these on any other platform, only on the PTS Primo charting platform. Okay, as we close and end today's educational class and look one last time at our disclaimer, I just want to say thanks so much for taking time out of your Wednesday. I hope you learned a little bit about how we want to really teach you how to become a consistent trader, but most especially, we really look forward to you becoming students in the PTR course. Thank you so much for attending today. I wish you all the best of luck and hope to see you in class. Bye-bye.